Hey guys, Adam Lobo here from Adam Lobo TV, and allow me to give you a quick scenario. So you're at home adjusting to the new normal, that work from home situation. Plug in your super high quality 4K webcam and prepare for your video call with your client. And then your video feed starts to look like this. Oh, the second scenario is that you're all done for the day and it's time for some Netflix and chill, and then this happens. So you're puzzled. You do an internet speed test and you find out that your internet speed is not what you've subscribed to. Now, before you call and yell at your internet service provider, I am here together with my current internet service provider, Time Internet, to give you 3 simple tips to not only help you if you are in a similar situation, and also to help you understand that fast internet actually starts with your hardware. So with this, the next time you run into problems like this, you will know what to do. So keep watching. Now, just before I go into the tips, here's a quick overview on Time Internet, just in case for some strange reason you'd never heard of Time. Now, at this point of time, pun intended, they are recognized as Malaysia's most consistent broadband provider by Ookla, which I'm sure you know about them, who has been the global leader in internet testing and analysis. Now, not only that Time consistently delivers against the global benchmark, but they are also recognized for achieving outstandingly low ping. Now, this translates to a lag-free experience for their subscribers. Plus, Time offers a super affordable high-speed plans here in Malaysia, up to 1 Gbps, starting from only 99 ringgit per month. And while I'm teaming with them right now to give you all of these nifty tips and tricks to understand the Wi-Fi hardware, I have been personally using Time for more than 5 years now. So this is a collaboration that makes perfect sense, since I personally really believe in their services. Alright, so now let's talk about the first tip, which is to know your hardware. Now, one of the first things to do when you realize that your speed is slower than what you subscribe to is to check your hardware. Now, if you're typically on Wi-Fi, your equipment may be old or out of date, which could be causing a poor network performance. So then it is probably time for you to replace or upgrade your hardware. Now, Time actually has a whole range of devices that you can choose from, but I'll get to that in a bit. Now, if you're old school and you use a wired connection because you want the best possible performance, whether or not it's for gaming or any other similar situation, then you must know that not all Ethernet ports are created equal. Now, in a nutshell, there are 2 types of Ethernet hardware connection. First, there is fast Ethernet, which carries transmission traffic speeds up to 100 Mbps, and then there's the Gigabyte Ethernet that carries speeds up to 1000 Mbps. So if you're on a 100 Mbps plan, then a fast Ethernet connection is fine. But if you decide to upgrade your subscription to a higher speed, say 500 Mbps, then you'd be stuck with only 100 Mbps and not getting the speeds that you're paying for because of that hardware limitation. And it's just not the Ethernet port that you should be paying attention to. The cable that you use is just as important, where it is best and recommended to use a cable which is a Cat5e cable and above. So how do we solve this then? Well, the first thing you need to do is to obviously upgrade your router to suit your needs. And you can do that via Time's self-care portal. From there, you can easily purchase add-on devices from their shop. And what's more, you can also do this from your phone on the Time Internet app. And since I've got lots of phones with me always, let me give you a quick walkthrough of the app. Now, once you're at the home screen of the app, if you are like me who has more than one account, choose your account number. You'll then see the summary of your account, such as the current plan and if it's active, and also if there's any payment overdue. Swipe left is where you come to the add-ons tab, and then hit the card icon on the bottom right, and here is where you can scroll through the shop. Then over here you can browse through a range of devices to suit your needs, including the Omni Mesh, for when you need a fast and stable Wi-Fi in every corner of your home. Now this works best in pairs, which is great because adding the additional units is super easy and also affordable as well. And while we are on the topic of mesh, here's a little bonus tip for you. When you're setting up your whole home Wi-Fi system, it is important to know where exactly you place the mesh nodes, especially if you're relying on a wireless connection. Now, if you're not sure where exactly you should put them, the Control Hub in the Time Internet app has a handy little tool that can help you. There's the Wi-Fi strength check function in the app that lets you test the signal strength in a particular location. So if the results are good, then you'll know that you've placed the node in the right place. And if you have a ready Ethernet or LAN wall sockets throughout your home, even better, because you can make it the backbone for your mesh network. Just connect your mesh nodes to the LAN port and you don't have to worry about placing your mesh devices within the line of sight with each other. Now, if all the devices looks a little confusing to you, don't worry. Just tap on the little View Details button on each listing to help you understand and decide if that is the right fit for you. Nice, huh? Now, as for the next tip, is that your current router just needs some tender, loving care. So as weird as it may sound, you don't need to baby the router like sayang. There are several things that you can already do in order to improve the hardware's performance immediately. Now, in order to give some love to your router is to know exactly where your router is placed. So ask yourself, is it placed in an area where there are stacks or loads of other devices on top of the router? Is there proper ventilation on where it is placed? And also ask yourself, how is the temperature like on where your router is at? So once you have rectified this, you obviously need to store it in a cool, dry, open space. Now, you don't need to do a Linus Tech Tips and install an aircon specifically for your router, because storing it in a place where there's plenty of airflow would already increase the router's performance. And there's also seemed to be another common thing that people usually do. You might be guilty of doing that too, which is not removing the plastics on the router. Now, in case you guys are confused, you know those little plastics which is not only on top of the router but also wrapped around the antennas? Yes, please double check on that, guys, because that actually blocks the airflows and contributes to overheating of the devices. And apart from not stacking the router with other devices, do also avoid placing the router in closed drawers too. Because yes, I know that some old school routers may not look aesthetically pleasing, but the good news is that Time has lots of routers as seen in the app earlier, like the sleek looking Omni Mesh devices, which not only performs well, but also doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. Then the third and the final tip is to help you improvise on situations where if you're streaming video content online, whether or not it's on your smart TV or your official TV box. Now, as mentioned in the beginning of this video, my biggest pet peeves is not being able to stream video streaming platforms like Netflix or even YouTube properly, especially after a long days of work. And here's where you'll need to first double check on how many devices are being connected to the Wi-Fi. Because if you're like me who have several smartphones around to review, 3 tablets, 1 PC, 2 laptops all connected to the same Wi-Fi, then you obviously will have a poor internet connection as there are many devices crowding the connection. So in that case, you might need to relook into your plan if it's sufficient for a multi-device usage, especially for a bigger family. And another thing to look at is that if your smart TV or even your TV box is certified by MCMC and CIRIM, because as a tech YouTuber, I have reviewed lots of TVs, especially these smart TVs, which all comes with an Ethernet port, and that would be the best way to ensure that you get consistent and high speeds. With TV boxes, you'll need to check if you have the right Ethernet ports or even a higher speed Wi-Fi antennas. And what I always do and what Time recommends is to test YouTube as a gauge to know if you're streaming well, because sometimes it could be an issue of the Netflix or the Amazon Prime app or any other streaming apps similar to that. Now, if you have the Time Internet app, is even better because you can run diagnostics to perform a speed test to see if your internet is in a tip-top shape. So check all of that out before you give up. But if all else fails, you can always reach out to the customer service via live chat or hotline if you need any further assistance. So if you're a Time subscriber, be sure to download the Time Internet app because it will be your best friend when it comes to managing your network. And if you're not a subscriber of Time yet, sign up now to enjoy stable and ultra fast speeds like how it has always been for me for more than 5 years now, which I'll leave links down below for you guys to check it out. Alright guys, hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, besides giving this video a nice big thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe to Adam Lobo TV if you haven't done so, as I'll be giving you some tips on how to actually speed your Wi-Fi in my upcoming video as well. Aside from that, thank you so much for watching. My name is Adam Lobo and I'll catch you guys in my next video.